We're presented with so many images of models, actors, uh, and now even recently we've seen it a lot with even reality cast, reality show cast. Like um, there's like this whole image of like how girls have to be really skinny, or guys either have to be really skinny or have to be really built. um, I think now we're, in a way, we're also moving away, not necessarily from like people wanting to be really skinny, but also people fearing to be too skinny. I think it could work both ways. Um, and I don't know, it's just everywhere you go, like it's just like the way products are marketed are with the intention to, you know, say, oh, this is what you should look like, or you want this, you should look like this, or you want to feel like this person because she's pretty and glamorous and blah blah, buy this product. It's just everything. It's everywhere.
I think it really gives people an idea of what they should look for or what they should strive to look like. And I think at any age, people are looking to the media to see what is like the perfect image of somebody.
I think the Dove campaign is awesome because it what we see in the media is kind of different than what they portray as beauty, because they'll have like an average woman. This average woman, she may not be as thin as a lot of celebrities. And so it's like a real beauty. You may have someone who society may define as obese or overweight, but when you look at the picture, Dove does a really good job at saying that this is the real beauty. I think the Dove campaign does a really good job at expanding our views on what beauty is. Makes us more accepting of ourselves.
I believe that it increased the rate of suicide because you have the models who are our perception of the perfect individuals to try to look like. You have them getting thinner and thinner. You have all these other individuals who's trying to meet that same body image or body type. If they can't get it, then they're feeling bad about themselves. The self-images decrease, and ultimately some are committing suicide. Eating disorders are increased because every individual is trying, not every individual, but a lot of them are trying to meet that same body frame. So you have individuals eating and growing the food right back up. When you hear these mass diets that individuals are going on, just trying to meet this certain image that the models take on.
These tears of mine fall like fat raindrops, and they sprinkle the pillows where I lie. I think to myself how misshapen this body is, and how unlike the models that stare back at me from glossy covers that tell me I'm just not thin enough. My throat is swollen and raw. I feel drops of blood course down the back of my mouth. The ache is tangible and real. I stare with shame at the 2 candy bar wrappers that I swallowed almost whole. The truth weighs upon my shoulders like a boulder swing on the edge of a cliff. I have fallen prey to the lie that I am not good enough, not worthy enough, and simply unwanted. My brother tells me that I have the brains of the family, and I cannot help but wonder why it is I could not have the looks. Brains cannot win the affection of boys in the 7th grade. Heart restless, waiting for an answer to this dilemma. Will I become the swan from the ugly geese? I do not have the willpower to starve myself every day and fall victim to the myth that I can eat. Then the torment begins, and I must be rid of the calories that threaten to consume my soul and make me even more undesirable. My mother eats diet pills like candy and talks about my big butt in an oh so loving tone. It was you that taught me to hate this skin, these cheeks, and my thighs. No daily sanctuary from the coldness of a world consumed by physical beauty, but rather it is intensified. Back to my sullen cocoon filled with remorse and regret that my body isn't that of an Amazon beauty. God's cruel joke was to leave me short, chubby, freckled, and shy. Am I more than the sum of my parts, or destined to remain unwanted and alone?
I believe that the way women are portrayed in the media sends an immediate message to other countries about the way we think about women in the U.S. We have strict rules of beauty and course of action. The typical woman that you would see is going to be light-skinned, light-featured. She's going to be tall and thin, svelte, if you will. In terms of actions in the general media, she's usually going to be something to be looked at and not heard. She's going to be passive. I think that she's going to be construed as either, unfunny or unintelligent or, unathletic. And in terms of just strictly beauty, I think that we are, very reluctant to deviate from our standard beauty ideas. So, if there is an attempt at diversifying, let's say like a magazine shoot or something, I think it's usually just an attempt at being politically correct in diversity and not necessarily successful. And if it is, doing something that goes outside these norms, it's not, successful in terms of mainstream appreciation. So I think overall, the way that the U.S., portrays women and their representations in the media is, very, we're intolerant to change in the U.S.
I have to say, ignore what you see on TV and just feel comfortable with yourself. As long as you feel that you are where you belong, there should be no typical way to look or feel as long as you're happy with yourself.
I would say don't believe the hype, because I think the media does a pretty good job of portraying images that are not accurate, and I think a lot of people get caught up in the fact that they don't look like the images that are portrayed in the media. So a lot of people end up doing really, I think, extreme things to try and meet that image and ultimately fail. So my message would be to take it with a grain of salt, look at it for what it is, just a portrayal of a person, and not so much let it worry or bother you when it comes to self-esteem, body image, and all of that good stuff.